Welcome to All This Math. This is Professor Parker, and tonight we're going to be talking about box and whisker plots. Box and whisker plots. This particular problem was requested by Miss Butler from my night school class, so hopefully this will clear up a little bit of confusion that she might have. And I understand, because it's a lot of details when you're trying to create a box and whisker plot. It's a lot going on with box and whisker plots, but I'm going to try to break down the step-by-step process of how to create a box and whisker plot and all the data and all the information that you need in terms of your 5 data points in order to create a box and whisker plot. But I also want to shout out a young brother named Bryson that has this t-shirt line, hoodie line. Learning happens everywhere. He's a homeschooler, and you know his mom is Serena Thomas of Serena Speaks. Check her out. And they blessed me with this hoodie sometime, I think, last year when I was doing a little tutoring with them. All right, so moving right along. So we're going to draw a box and whisker plot, okay? Now, when we finish drawing it, you'll understand why it's called a box and whisker plot, right? This is something that we use in statistics and data analysis, right? And it's a way to just show a visual of data and a visual of information, okay? So in order to draw a box and whisker plot, there are 5 pieces of information that you need, right? When you have a data set like we have here, we have these numbers 11, 27, 20, 10, 13, 25, 18, 15, and 5. From that data set, you need 5 pieces of information. I call them the data points. You need the minimum, the maximum. LQ stands for lower quartile. And sometimes, depending on what textbook you're using, somebody might call this Q1. We need the median. And also, depending on what textbook you're using, somebody might call this Q2. And you need what's called the upper quartile. The UQ stands for upper quartile. And in some textbooks, that might be called Q3. So lower quartile, median, upper quartile, the minimum, and the maximum. So just looking at this data, automatically, you want to look through the data, and I would suggest just get the easy stuff out the way, right? So what's your minimum? Your minimum, that doesn't require any mathematical calculations. You just counting. So you look through your data and you see, okay, I see that 5 is the smallest number out of all these numbers. So that's my minimum. So you write that. 5 is my minimum. All right. So 1 down, 4 to go. All right. Now my maximum. Now what's my maximum? Now I look through all the numbers and I want to find the biggest number. So I think, okay, it's not 25, it's 27. 27 is my max. All right. So 27 is the max. Now you're going to do every problem like this. Every time you're trying to draw a box and whisker plot, you do every problem like this. Okay. You find your minimum, you find your maximum, and then we get to the work, right? So before we find the lower quartile and the upper quartile, we need to find the median. So we need to find the median. Not the mean, not the mode, but the median. The median, just like the median in the street. The median in the street, it divides one side of the street from the other, right? It divides this traffic from that traffic, right? The median essentially does the same thing with a data set. After you put all the numbers in order from either least to greatest or greatest to least, I typically do least to greatest all the time, but it doesn't matter. You could do greatest to least if you want to. The median is going to divide the data in half, right? It's going to divide the data in half. So what you want to do is, though, like I said, you need to put all the numbers in order, and I'm going to do least to greatest. So my smallest number is a 5. So I'm going to rewrite this as 5. And then my next biggest number is 10. Let me cross that off so I know already you rewrote it. 10 I rewrote. Then I got 11. Cross that off. And then I got 13. Cross him off. And then I got 15. Cross him off. And then I got 18. Cross him off. And then I got 20. Already crossed that off. And then I got 25. Cross that off. And then I got 27. Everything is crossed off. And I put my numbers in order from least to greatest. Now I need to count out and see how many numbers I have. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this one's a little easy because I got 9 numbers. When you have 9 numbers, or when you have an odd number of numbers, your median is in the list. If I had an even number of numbers, then I would have to calculate what the median is by taking the 2 middle numbers and finding the average of those 2. But because I have an odd number of numbers, right, it's kind of like, since I have 9 numbers up here, it's like if a sister had 9 children, she has a middle child. Her 5th child is a middle child, because that meant she had 4 children, then she had another child, and then she had 4 more children. So because that 5th child breaks up the order, 4 at first, and then 4 later, that 5th child is the middle child. All right. So what I need to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to draw a box around my numbers. That's my median, right? So 15 is the median. 15 is the median. Now, once again, if this had been an even number of numbers, I would technically have 2 middle numbers. So then I would have to take the average of the 2 middle numbers. But because I have an odd number of numbers, I don't have to do that in this particular problem. But if you run into a problem where you do have that, then that's what you're going to have to do. All right, so I write 15, where the median is. Boom. Now, I got 3 out of 5, right? 3 out of 5 things that I'm looking for. Now, this is how you find the lower quartile, or Q1. The lower quartile is just the median out of the smaller numbers. That's all it is. So imagine these are your smaller numbers. Imagine that you had to find the median and these were your whole data set. It's not, but just imagine that it is. Imagine the 5, the 10, the 11, and the 13 is your whole data set. And then you were asked to find the median, right? So now we got the situation where we got an even number of numbers. So now our median is going to be between 10 and 11. So what you would have to do is do some mathematics, right? You're going to have to do the average of 10 and 11, because 10 and 11 are the 2 middle numbers. Just like if somebody has 4 children, you technically don't have a middle child. You have 2 middle children, actually. Your 2nd and 3rd children are your middle children. You don't have 1 middle child. You have 2 middle children. So that means in order to find the median, you have to take the average of the 2 middle numbers, which looks like this: 10 plus 11, and you divide by the number of numbers, which is 2. So 10 plus 11 is 21. Then you divide that by 2. 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. So that means that your lower quartile is 10.5. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing for the upper quartile, because all the upper quartile is the median of the bigger numbers. So make sure you write that down in your notes. The upper quartile is the median of the bigger numbers. The lower quartile is the median of the smaller numbers. And the median is just the middle of the whole data set of all the numbers. All right. So now I got 4 out of 4 numbers in my bigger numbers. So I need to find the average of 20 and 25. So I'm going to do 20 plus 25 divided by 2. That gives me 45 divided by 2, which gives me 22.5. So 22.5 is called my upper quartile, or the median of my bigger numbers. So I write that in here. Now, I got my 5 data points, and now I'm ready to draw my box and whisker plot. Now, this is how you draw the box and whisker plot. Your minimum and maximum. You draw dots above on the number line. So you already have my number line drawn out, right? You may need to draw your own number line sometimes, or you might have a worksheet that has a number line already drawn on it or printed on it. So I find the minimum and maximum. You put dots above them. So what does that mean? My minimum is 5. I go to the number line. I see 5. I go up some and I draw a dot just like that. That's all you do. I do the same thing for the maximum. It's 27. But you look on this number line, I don't see a 27. But what I know is that 27 is bigger than 25 and less than 30. So it's between 25 and 30. Almost, it's like halfway, almost halfway between. So I go up above where I think 27 would be, and I draw a dot. That's what I do. So now my minimum is taken care of, my max is taken care of. Now for the lower quartile, median, and upper quartile, you're not going to draw dots. You're going to draw vertical bars or vertical lines, because those vertical bars are going to be the sides, and also inside there's going to be a vertical bar inside the box, and those two of them are going to be the outsides or the edges of the box. All right, from the box and whisker plot. All right, so where's 10.5 at? I see 10 right here. 10.5 is a little bit past 10. So I go up and I do that. And look how I write my vertical bar. I want the dot to be like halfway lined up with halfway to the bar, or the halfway mark of the bar that I draw. That's what I want. And then my median is 15. I go to 15. Go up. I draw a bar like that. Upper quartile, 22.5. I find 22.5. 22.5 is exactly halfway between 20 and 25. So then I go up like such, and I draw that. Now I can draw it. Now I can finish this. Now the way you finish it, you got your 2 dots and your 3 bars. Remember that. 2 dots, 3 bars. 2 dots, 3 bars. 2 dots, 3 bars. A dot for the minimum, a dot for the maximum. A bar for the lower quartile, a bar for the median, a bar for the upper quartile. All right. Then you're going to draw horizontal bars to make this look like a box. And then you're going to draw your 2 whiskers. I guess it's based on a cat face or something. I don't know. So you draw your 2 whiskers. Those are going to be horizontal lines to the dots, from the box to the dots. That's your box and whisker plot. And that's how you do it. You need 5 data points. You need to identify your minimum, your maximum, your lower quartile, your median, and your upper quartile. How do you find the median? Put all the numbers in order from least to greatest. The median is the number in the middle out of all the numbers. If you have an odd number of numbers. If you had an even number of numbers, you would take the average of the 2 middle numbers. You do the same thing for the lower quartile and the upper quartile. The lower quartile is the median of the smaller numbers. So the numbers before you get to the median. The upper quartile is the median of the bigger numbers. The numbers that are after the median. That's all it is. You find those 4 numbers and you straight. You put dots above the minimum and the maximum. You put vertical bars above lower quartile, median, and upper quartile, and you'll be straight. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how we draw a box and whisker plot. I hope this video has been helpful. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. Please share the video. Put some people on so they can understand how to draw box and whisker plots too. All right. Thank you for tuning in. And always remember, as usual, there's all this math all around you.